What I'm seeing with the response, the commentary surrounding this Diddy trial, is how flippant and dismissive men are regarding violence against women. So I'm going to do a snapshot of some of these posts that I'm seeing from men. This man named Willie, and the names of these people don't matter because I'm seeing this on multiple platforms, different men, whatever. But Willie says, I know some of you are about to be tight over what I'm about to say, but I'll take my chances. I don't have a dog in this fight. But using Cassie's youth as a blanket excuse for the choices she made during her decade long relationship with Diddy is problematic because it removes the necessary element of accountability without which no one learns or grows. Diddy and Cassie is a cautionary tale for men who use their money and power to abuse others. On the flip side, it tells young women who will come after Cassie no matter what you get yourself into and who gets hurt, as long as you are young, you won't be held accountable. I've been on social media long enough to know that these people put youth higher up on a pedestal than anything, and they do that because a young woman or a girl is inexperienced and wouldn't know how to navigate the likes of this person. Number one, the power dynamic was so unequal on many different levels. The money, the power in the industry, especially for an employee type of situation, considering she was trying to sing. So we got the age gap, we got the money, we got the power, all of these things. And then add into that the violence that occurred. And then add to that the video. People act like all of these dynamics are not a way to control people. So they want to hold the younger person accountable, the person that had less power accountable. And this is one of the reasons why us older women will continue to try to wave these warning flags, like warn young women to stay away from these men. Yes, I know some of the glitz and glamour might be exciting, but the power dynamics of the older man, the person with way more money than you, you just really don't, the celebrity, the status, way more power than you could very well end up in a situation like this and then get blamed. You can get blamed because there was an unequal power dynamic and you got caught up. And Boosie been a hot mess. He says, I think Cassie and her husband masterminded this takedown of Diddy and his money. Diddy had absolutely no responsibility in any of his actions. It was her husband and Cassie. I think her husband had been trying to get her to do this for years to Diddy, but she didn't want to do it because she knew what would come out. Then, as a couple, y'all become broke. Now the plot becomes realer by the month. I think the last straw was when Diddy and Carisha relationship, when she saw Carisha with that sign supporting her man at that awards, that did it. A woman scorned is an evil, dangerous MF. He created a whole scenario. He don't know what's going on with Cassie and her husband at all. But he just created all of this so that it is a work of fiction to where Diddy has absolutely no culpability in any of the things that he has done from the 90s until now. Absolutely none. It was all Cassie. This is what they do. They do not, there's absolutely no way for men to take responsibility for anything that they do when you have men that are out here that are willing to just lump all of the blame on a woman. Now, this woman named Shar says, you don't understand abuse. Also, if grown men were scared of Diddy, why wouldn't Cassie be? We literally saw the video of him beating her while trying to escape. And that's one video we saw in one instance. I'm totally sure that the feds have seen more video. But this person named Twan, and like I said, the names don't matter. Twan says, okay, so he beat her. I just said she was abused. You see the way he is just flippant about it? Okay, so that that just literally shows me how normalized abuse is to some of these people. He said, I said she wasn't a hostage. Stop regurgitating the same old stuff and think for a minute. I really want some of these people to think for a minute as well, considering there were video, considering grooming someone starting at the age of 19 on means that you have their brain in your hand. You have control. And he did have control of her business. He controlled her with video or pictures. He did leak her nudes at one point in time. All of this is a way to keep her in line. Ursula asked Twan the question, "You beat women, don't you?" And he said, "Yes." And then Rowan says, "Okay, well, this comment needs to be added anywhere you advertise, screen capped before you delete like a coward." So and I don't know if he's just being flippant. And some of the people that were under my comment, because I made a post about this, saying he's not serious. But that's the point. If he is being unserious, if he is playing, that just goes to show that they don't care about the dangers and violence that women face. But also, if he is serious, then like literally there's no way to make this okay. And like I said, I don't know if this man is serious, but this is Twan again saying, "My business is a brass knuckle shop to aid fellow abusers. It won't be deleted." So, like I said, he's either being dismissive or flippant, or this is really how he's living. Barron says, "This is why they're disappointed in us, dude. To acknowledge the abuse and not understand or listen to why it's tough for people to leave by saying stuff like she's not a hostage is part of the perfect victim complex that leads to people still being able to get away with stuff like this." I'm shifting away from Cassie and Diddy. Now I'm just going to talk about this post where these women were talking about abusers and how they caught them up. So young Auntie says, "My abuser showed the judge a video of me not knowing I was recording the whole time as well. So while he had 27 seconds, I had 2 minutes and 32 seconds. She says, "Ain't got no tea on me. This man think he TMZ." Bars. She says then he lied about the date it happened because he didn't know I recorded as well. And then she continues with, "Why show the end of the interaction when I can show y'all the beginning to the end?" Because sometimes these men try to make it like the women are the ones that are crazy. You have always got to have your head on a swivel and be ready to protect yourself for self-preservation's sake. Caroline says, "One time my ex was laying into me at the pediatrician's office of all places. And right when he said, 'You got anything to say?' I just said, 'Yeah. Do you want to say hi to the judge?' And showed him I was recording. He didn't show up for our next hearing." Young Auntie laughed at that one. Caroline continued with, "Yeah, his whole shtick with the judge was being quiet and calm and saying I was lying about everything. Him realizing that I had proof of how he really is was a game changer. Him not showing at the next hearing resulted in the judge giving me a default judgment with everything I had asked for. Always be ready, y'all." Earth Tamia says, "My abuser has 0 screenshots of me harassing him, abusing him, and consenting to certain things. Nothing. I had over 200 and a 17-minute phone call of him admitting to assaulting me. I don't think he realized I kept everything. Please start recording everything. Please start keeping everything." Young Auntie says, "Exactly." And then Earth Tamia says, "They don't realize how smart some of us are. Like, why would you think I'd get rid of all the evidence?" Miss Pretty Brown Eyes says, "My ex-husband tried saying he'd never once threatened me, and the case I had against him for attempting to unalive me was going to be dropped. I can only imagine the look on his face when I sent the DA a recording of him threatening to unalive us both while driving. You can hear the car accelerating and everything. He ended up in jail." Yes. The Jada Love says, "The fact that your profile picture is a new wedding photo is icing on the cake." I am so glad that some women have the foresight to record some of these things because they're recording. Some of these people are recording, like Diddy was recording to try to keep that woman locked up and controlled. And then finally, I'm going to end with this one. A flaunt Lamont says, "Me reading y'all stories about winning, getting out, and one-upping your abusers. I'm so proud of y'all. I want women to win. I want victims to win. I want women to have our heads on a swivel and be able to get away. Do what you can. Make sure that you understand who can literally turn the person that you start out dating might not be the person that you end up leaving." All right, y'all, join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Share any of your stories that you might have.